I think university is a time where you find yourself. This is a time where I've truly learnt my potential and what I'm capable of.
We had 24 students from the University of Newcastle come along to Borneo. We spent 3 days in the Borneo jungle and we looked at orangutans in their habitat. It was amazing.
The skills that I've gained over those years and even watched and reflected on how much I've learnt, it amazes me.
I'm the first one in my family to graduate. My dad always said to me, he said, only brain can make a man. That means only knowledge can make a man. And I always had, the voice of my dad in the back of my head, saying that I could do it. Graduation was a major achievement in my life.
I started the university as an able-bodied kid, and then I had an accident after my second year. So that dream as a young kid from a disadvantaged background of throwing that cap and gown into it almost puts a tear in my eye of having that sense of achievement.
I was doing some volunteer work. One of the volunteer boss said to me that if you really like helping people, why don't you become a nurse? I want graduates to be bold, be courageous, and be your best.
I think it is very important to focus on your purpose because there will be a lot of issues, a lot of challenges facing ahead, and being able to overcome each time, I think it's what's important.
It's a wonderful feeling to be an alumni. You have this connection with other alumni, other students who have graduated.
Not just national, but also it's global scale.
Having a community behind you is probably the greatest thing you can have, apart from your family and friends, because really it's just a bigger version of them.
A family that is now around the world.
We've all come together as one, and we're all going to be lifelong friends.
When I step out on that stage, I'm not going to be able to stop smiling. I think I've worked really hard for the last 3 years, and a lot of other people have as well, so it's going to be a day to remember and a day to cherish.
I just enjoy the moment.
Words can't describe it.
It lasts a few seconds, but you really will remember it forever.
The world is your oyster. You really don't know what it's going to be tomorrow. You don't know what it's going to be the next day, but take every single opportunity that comes your way.
Congratulations, graduates.
Congratulations, graduates.
Congratulations, graduates.
Welcome to our global alumni community.
Welcome, graduates and guests, to this very special occasion. To comply with safety regulations, I'd like to point out the emergency exits in the Great Hall. Please note your nearest green emergency exit sign to locate your closest exit. As a courtesy to everyone in the room, we ask that you switch your mobile phone to silent. We acknowledge that this is a long-awaited occasion. COVID-19 has likely further extended your wait. The situation has also required us to make modifications to the ceremony. The University of Newcastle is complying with the current New South Wales Public Health Order, which mandates the wearing of face masks for any person who has visited or resided in the Greater Sydney area, including the Central Coast, on or since the 9th of June 2021. If you are affected by this order and do not have a face mask with you, please raise your hand now and one of our staff will provide one to you. You can keep your hand raised and our staff will get to you. Graduates, under this different ceremony format, we ask that you rise from your seat when your name is called and remain standing in front of your chair facing forward while your qualification title is announced. You will then acknowledge your achievement by doffing, that is, tipping your cap towards the Chancellor. You can then retake your seat as the audience applauds. Your guests should remain seated. At the conclusion of today's ceremony, we will instruct each graduate and your guests when it is time to leave your seats. You will be exiting in turn using the front and rear doors, and a photograph will be taken of you and your guests. An electronic copy of this photograph will be available to all graduates to access and share. Graduates, in early May, you will be sent an invitation to complete the Graduate Outcomes Survey. This gathers feedback on your higher education experience to improve the experience of future students. We strive to provide the best university experience possible for our students, but this cannot be achieved without your valuable feedback. We would appreciate you watching for an email to your university email account so that you can assist us with this. Some of the terminology used in today's ceremony may be unfamiliar to you. To assist in your appreciation of the ceremony, we have provided a history of graduation and an explanation of terms in the graduation booklet. The academic procession will enter the Great Hall in a few moments. When the procession enters, could you please rise and remain standing for the singing of the Australian National Anthem? Thank you.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this very special graduation ceremony. On behalf of the University of Newcastle, I respectfully acknowledge the traditional custodians, the Pambalan clan of the Awabakal Nation, on whose traditional land this campus is located. I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Graduates, today we celebrate your endurance and commitment throughout 2019 and 2020. You're a special group of people whose determination and resilience is remarkable by any measure. Because of these trying years that hopefully are now behind us, our 2021 graduation ceremonies take on an additional uniqueness and sense of celebration this year. Congratulations. Today you leave here as a graduate of a fine institution, one which prioritises excellence through education, life readiness as well as job readiness, a sense of community and partnership, fostering opportunities for students to learn beyond the classroom. These principles and the opportunities that are presented will serve you well as you forge your careers. Some of you have joined us on our research journey that is focused on delivering impact and innovation with a steady vision on working with industry to support the development of our region. The university's focus on excellence in education and research impact sits hand in glove with a long-held commitment to equity. I know many of you here today are the first person in your family to achieve a university education. You should feel proud and you should enjoy the pride with your family and friends. Today is also a celebration of your uniqueness as individuals. We are proud that we offer the opportunity of education to students from all walks of life, anyone with the talent and the determination. It's an achievement for our university, above many others in the sector, to say that we do pave the way for students from all backgrounds and all circumstances, and we seek to do more. Today, we should all share that pride and join together in realising your potential. Today's celebration of the completion of your studies marks another important milestone. You become an alumnus within the university's network of alumni that stretches across the world, comprising 148,000 members in 144 countries. The network and its chapters offer unique opportunities to connect professionally and socially with other alumni, and I encourage you to stay in touch. In doing so, you'll keep very good company. One such example is University of Newcastle graduate Dr. Bharvi Ravindran, who was announced as Newcastle's Young Citizen of the Year in 2019. Dr. Bharvi is a John Hunter Hospital doctor who has been recognised for his outstanding contribution to the medical profession at such a young age. He's worked with the United Nations and World Health Organization on a number of leading international population health projects. And in 2016, he convened a global health conference, which he arranged to be delivered from his hometown in Newcastle. Dr. Bharvi's conference drew more than 850 medical students from across the world to discuss public health and global governance issues. The impact of this conference continues to be felt and has positioned our region as an international attraction for speakers and thought leaders in health and other sectors. As you, our graduates, embark on 2021 with bright futures ahead of you, think about the impact that you can make and how you'll make this impact on the world. We as a university will continue to be there with you and support you. Today you'll be presented with a pin featuring a design by Aboriginal artist and alumna of the university, Jasmine Cratchin. The artwork from the pin is taken from the piece hanging to my left here in the Great Hall. This artwork symbolises the university's renewed commitment to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander education, research and engagement. Please take time to read the full story of the artwork inside the card that you'll receive. I'll finish by acknowledging that today is the culmination of many years of hard work, and this ceremony is a symbol of all you've achieved during your time here at the university. This includes an acknowledgement of the support you've received from family and friends who've helped you at every step of the way to your journey to today. To family and friends, we sincerely thank you for the important role you've played in reaching this important milestone. My heartfelt congratulations to each and every graduate that's here today. We're so pleased that we've been able to host you in person today. I now call on our Vice-Chancellor, Professor Alex Zielinski AO, to introduce today's occasional speaker.
Good afternoon, everyone. And let me begin by warmly welcoming our Excellences sees here today, Governor-General David Hurley and Mrs Linda Hurley. Welcome to Newcastle and welcome to the University. Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to introduce His Excellency General the Honourable David Hurley, AC, DSC, retired Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia, to provide today's occasional address. His Excellency was sworn in as Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia on the 1st of July 2019. David Hurley joined the Australian Army in January 1972, graduating from the Royal Military College Duntroon into the Royal Australian Infantry Corps in a long and distinguished 42-year military career. His service culminated with his appointment as Chief of Defence Force. He commanded the 1st Battalion, the Royal Australian Regiment, during Operation Solace in Somalia in 1993, receiving the Distinguished Service Cross. Following promotion to Colonel, he was promoted to Chief of Staff, Headquarters 1st Division in June 1994, attending the US Army War College in 1996 and 1997. He commanded the 1st Brigade from 1999 to 2000 in Darwin, supporting Australian-led operations in East Timor. He was appointed the inaugural Chief of Capability Development Group from 2003 to 2007, Chief of Joint Operations Command in October 2007, and Vice Chief of the Defence Force in July 2009. Promoted to General, he succeeded Air Chief Marshal Angus Houston as the Chief of Defence Force on the 4th of July 2011 until his retirement on the 30th of June 2014. In 2010, he was appointed a Companion of the Order of Australia for eminent service to Australian Defence Force. Prior to being sworn in as Governor-General, David Hurley served as the 38th Governor of New South Wales from October 2014 to May 2019. David Hurley graduated with a Bachelor of Arts from the Royal Military College Duntroon in 1975 and a Graduate Diploma in Defence Studies from Deakin University in 1991. He's married to Her Excellency Linda, with whom he has 3 children. He was awarded an Honorary Doctor of Letters from the University of Wollongong in 2013, a Doctor of the University Honoris Causa from the University of New South Wales in 2015, made a Fellow of the Australian Academy of Technology and Engineering in 2016 and awarded an Honorary Doctor from Macquarie University in 2017. Just on a personal note, he is from Wollongong, my hometown, and people from Wollongong are welcome here in the Hunter, which is good to know. He also was, General Hurley was also my boss when I was working in defence, and is a great man, great leader. So with those words, it's my great pleasure to invite His Excellency General, the Honourable David Hurley, AC, DSC retired Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia, to provide today's occasional address.
Professor Zielinski, thank you very much for that very warm welcome, and a delight for Linda and I to be here with you today on a very special occasion in the life of the men and women who are graduating today. Could I begin by, of course, by acknowledging that we're sitting here today on the land of the Pambalong clan of the Awakabal people. I do thank them for looking after this beautiful part of our country for generation after generation, and pay respect to their elders past and present. Could I acknowledge Mr Paul Jeans, the Chancellor of the University of Newcastle, of course to the leadership of the University of Newcastle, the staff with us, graduates and families in particular, ladies and gentlemen. This is a momentous occasion in the life of any young person when they complete a period of formal tertiary education. It marks a time during which you've dedicated yourself to acquiring knowledge, new skills, thinking through where that will take you into the future, and how you can continue to serve. And I'll come back to that point in a moment. As an occasional speaker, I am not an academic, as you've heard from my background. Therefore, I won't speak deeply about any of your subject matter. I've been more the patient than the master of what you have studied, and with the occasional appearance before your predecessors. But what I want to talk to you about today is the country you are going to be serving and working in, the people, and your role in addressing their needs. Can I take you through my last week? On Saturday and Sunday last weekend, Linda and I were in Cooktown, where we participated in, observed the annual reconciliation reenactment ceremony in Cooktown between the Bumagay people and Captain Cook, which occurred in 1770 when Cook had to beach his ship in the Endeavour River. Performed before 1,000 people. This was the local members of the Bumagay clan and local Cooktown people reenacting an act of reconciliation that occurred there in 1770. It brought tears to everybody's eyes. How many people here today know about that first act of reconciliation in Australia? Very few, I would think. On Monday, we flew from Cooktown to Rockhampton to have a meeting with about 200 people representing the Rockhampton community and meeting with the Order of Australia Association, looking at people who have made a commitment to volunteer and assist their fellow Australians at a community level. From there, we flew to Maroochydore and visited the Thompson Institute, which is a groundbreaking institute as part of the University of Sunshine Coast, looking at neuroscience, looking at treatment for PTSD, dementia, young children with that brain developing from the age to 12 to 22, how to help young people who are slightly confused with life understand what's happening to them. During the week in Canberra, we held receptions for Pain Australia, which looks after people suffering from chronic pain, advocates for them, leads in research, and particularly a focus on veterans at that gathering. Yesterday morning, a gathering with Dementia Australia, talking to people who are living with dementia and their carers about what life with dementia is like. This morning, we reopened the City Hall here in Newcastle. Following that, went to a pilot plant for mineral carbonisation. How do we take CO2 out of our energy-producing processes in the world, and here to a graduation. Now, I list all that not so you'll be sympathetic and say you have a busy life, but to show you the breadth of what goes on in our country and what people are doing for each other in this country. Now, I appreciate over the last year you have had a very difficult time to complete your tertiary education. I study Indonesian language. I am the world's worst online student. I have not submitted too many assessments on time over the last 12 months. So I admire you. You have shown enormous perseverance in some complex fields of study to be where you are today. And for that, you should be extremely proud. Not many people before you have been asked to do that. And I know that your parents and supporters here today will be particularly proud of what you've done. But the country you are going out to serve particularly needs the skill sets that are represented in this hall today. Part of my job with Linda is to engage with the Australian public. Since I became the Governor-General in July 2019, you know the list: drought, flood, bushfires, pandemics, cyclone, and now a mice plague. As I said this morning at the City Hall, I often look to the hills to see if there are 4 horsemen coming over the top of them to deliver us with our next affliction. But throughout that, every place we have been to, we have found Australians with enormous richness of spirit. Australians who may have lost everything in a bushfire, yet are out there helping their neighbours. Australians who are standing in front of you with the clothes they are wearing being given to them by the local Big W because they've got nothing else, but still giving to other people. You will enter a society, you live in a society, but now you will serve in a different way, a society that is really rich, very good, very resolute, but needs assistance. And as you know, with the pandemic afflicting us at the present time, there is an enormous demand in the fields that you represent here for service to our community. Again, Linda and I have visited and spoken to many organisations involved in delivering exactly what you are now trained to do to the Australian public. I suppose one of the silver linings in your choice of career is work will not go away. And there will be certainly pressures on our community to deliver services that you represent into the future. Could I put a personal plea in? If you're a city doctor, nurse or health official, go bush. We need you out there. If you are looking for a new lifestyle that doesn't include a beach, go west. We need you out there. There are communities out there that are desperate for exactly what you can deliver to them. So please think about that. As you sit here today at graduation, you're probably thinking, well done me. We had a saying in the military, we promote you not because of what you've done, but because what we think you're going to deliver. And that's where you are today, in my mind. Congratulations for getting here, but now you have an enormous responsibility to your country and your fellow people to serve them. Now, some of you will stay in your specialty for years because that is the appropriate thing to do. Some of you will, over time, take on leadership roles in your profession. Again, could I urge you to look at that and consider those roles very carefully about taking them on, because they are, again, critical. We would not be where we are as a country today and managing our response to the pandemic if we did not have people who sat in your chair 10, 15, 20 years ago, but have decided over time to take a leadership role in their particular fields. Keep your mind on that. Yes, in the next few years you will learn the basics, you will get your core skills, you will develop from your learning now, but you have a bigger role to play for your country. Two quotes I'd like to leave you with. Now, I pondered about this because when I graduated, 1975, so do the maths, that's a long time ago, I scratched my head trying to think, what did the occasional speaker say to us on that day? Unfortunately, I can't remember. You may be in the same boat. But let me leave you with two thoughts here. Professor Michelle Simmons is a quantum physicist, University of New South Wales, a former Australian of the Year. She originally came from the United Kingdom. When I spoke to her a few years back and asked her, why did you leave the United Kingdom and become an Australian citizen? She said, because Australians take on the big problems. That's you. Australians take on the big problems. Why would one of the brightest quantum physicists in the world come to Australia? Because Australians take on the big problems. And that's what your education is preparing you for right now. And in regards to where we're going as a country, many issues out before us at the present time. Reconciliation, how do we address climate change and so on. When I was sworn in as Governor-General, I borrowed a quotation from the Australian author David Malouf, and he wrote, "Australia is still revealing itself to us. We oughtn't to close off possibilities by declaring too early what we've already become." Australia is still revealing itself to us. We oughtn't to close off possibilities by declaring too early what we have already become. That is, we are not a finished product. For all the warts we have and the goodness we have, we are not a finished product. And that product will be refined, defined and developed by you and others of the same ilk who are graduating and are going to serve our country. Of course, we're not perfect. There will always be challenges, but we are confident in your ability. I, like your generation, You don't hear that from too many old grey men. I like your generation. You question, you query, you interact, you drive change. And again, as I said in quite a number of speeches, you're not like my generation, and thank goodness you're not. You will bring a fresh, new view to our country. Many of you have already done that. Continue to do it. My father said to me when I was your age, these things will not last. Hair, flares, and the Beatles. He's right about hair. Flares come and go. The Beatles go forever. That marked my generation. What will mark yours, and what will go on forever? They're the questions, I think, that this university has prepared you to answer. So could I thank, through the Chancellor and the Vice-Chancellor and those sitting on stage today, particularly those that will present you for your degrees, for their work in producing and bringing you to this point today. Congratulations. You should rejoice, and I know your parents are. You should feel a pride in what you've achieved. But the next step is the biggest, and that's where to from here. I wish you every success. I wish you to go exactly down the career path that you would like. But at the end of it, remember that it's not about you, it's not about me, it's about the people you serve, the people you look after, the people many of you have taken an oath to look after, and how you are going to use this knowledge to shape, change and produce a better Australia. Congratulations again and best wishes.
Excellency, thank you very much for delivering this occasional address. You mentioned in your speech that you had a bit of trouble recollecting the occasional speech at your graduation. I'm quite sure the audience here will have no difficulty recollecting the speech you've given us today, which is both insightful and inspirational. And we very much thank yourself, Mrs. Hurley, for joining us here today. And you've become a great friend of this university. I recall when you visited here in August 2015 for our 50th anniversary. I recall a couple of things about that visit, in particular the enthusiasm and genuine interest that you and Mrs. Hurley showed in the work we were doing at the Wallatuka Institute with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and it's a very proud area of our activities here. I guess the second thing I remember, sir, was when you were driven up to the gallery for a lunch, and you parked rather prominently in front of the stairs, and I mentioned this to you, and you mentioned to me that this is a university and we're a little bit worried about the number plates. You're recollecting your visits of this week and their relevance to the subject matter of these graduates is very, very significant. All of the graduates today, and I must say more broadly across other faculties as well, are going out to serve this great country at a time of great need. They are well prepared, and as you've pointed out, now's the time to value add, to put that learning into practice. And I'm sure that they will heed your message about the needs in the country. We do a lot of rural health work around almost all of New South Wales. It's a passion for many people in this room and many people up here on the stage. So we thank you. We thank you a great deal for your insightful speech, inspiring speech, and for your being here with us today. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to a very important aspect of this ceremony. For this, I'd like all of the graduates to stand, if you would. Would you all stand up, please? As Chancellor of the University of Newcastle, I now officially confer awards to all those candidates who fulfilled the conditions for admission of that award. And can I ask everyone in the audience to join me and my colleagues up here in applauding the wonderful achievement of these graduates. Graduates, would you be seated, please? Thank you. I now call on Professor Z. Upton, Pro-Vice-Chancellor for the College of Health, Medicine and Wellbeing, to present today's graduates.
Chancellor, I present to you the candidates who have fulfilled the conditions for admission to awards of this university. Graduates, would you please stand as your name is announced? Doctor of Philosophy graduates have undertaken a program of independent supervised study for the equivalent of up to 4 years of full-time study. These graduates have produced significant and original research outcomes, culminating in a thesis which has been independently examined by external experts of international standing. Today, the university is proud to honour graduates who have satisfied the rigorous criteria for the award of Doctor of Philosophy. Chancellor, I present Jessica Parish, graduating with the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Parish's thesis is entitled Authentic Moulage, Exploring Participant Engagement in Simulation. Dr. Parish. Anna Raywood, graduating with the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Raywood's thesis is entitled The Combined Effects of Physical Activity and Sleep on the Health and Wellbeing of Middle-Aged Adults. Dr. Raywood. Namira Williams, graduating with the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Williams's thesis is entitled Travelling with Two, Balancing Identity and Risk in Mothers with Intellectual Disability. Dr. Williams. Congratulations to our high degree by research graduates. Chancellor, I will now present graduates of postgraduate coursework degrees. Kim Ambrosole, graduating with a Master of Mental Health Nursing with distinction. Megan Cardona, graduating with a Master of Mental Health Nursing with distinction. Beth Kinjanjui, graduating with a Master of Mental Health Nursing with distinction. Kartik Kesav Amakuti, graduating with a Master of Mental Health Nursing. Crystal Blair, graduating with a Master of Mental Health Nursing. Melandra Chikumbirake, graduating with a Master of Mental Health Nursing. Renee Fekonya, graduating with a Master of Mental Health Nursing. Anita Purakan, graduating with a Master of Mental Health Nursing. Jatish John, graduating with a Master of Mental Health Nursing. Sanjo Jose, graduating with a Master of Mental Health Nursing. Elizabeth Matthew, graduating with a Master of Mental Health Nursing. Adam McGrath, graduating with a Master of Mental Health Nursing. Loveness Mushaninga, graduating with a Master of Mental Health Nursing. Jessica Silverstone, graduating with a Master of Mental Health Nursing. Andre Snyder, graduating with a Master of Mental Health Nursing. And Yolanda Snyder, graduating with a Master of Mental Health Nursing. Catherine Grisinskas, graduating with a Master of Nurse Practitioner and Master of Nursing Advanced Practice. Daphne Foster, graduating with a Master of Public Health with distinction. Hala Ali, graduating with a Master of Nursing Advanced Practice. Leonie Marcus, graduating with a Master of Traumatology with distinction. Karan Sandhu, graduating with a Master of Traumatology with distinction. And Shu Zhen Song, graduating with a Graduate Certificate in Workplace Health and Safety. Chancellor, I now call upon the Head of School for Medicine and Public Health, Professor Brian Kelly, to present graduates of undergraduate degrees.
Chancellor, I present to you Amber Pillar, graduating with a Bachelor of Biomedical Science Honours with Honours Class 1. Isaac Periri, graduating with a Bachelor of Biomedical Science. Derek Rayfield, graduating with a Bachelor of Biomedical Science. Lachlan Ross, graduating with a Bachelor of Biotechnology Honours with Honours Class 2, Division 2. Evangeline Jackson, graduating with Bachelor of Biomedical Science Honours with Honours Class 1. Alison Bradley, graduating with a Bachelor of Medical Radiation Science Honours Diagnostic Radiography. Zachary Casey, graduating with a Bachelor of Medical Radiation Science Honours Diagnostic Radiography. Shania Dimmock, graduating with a Bachelor of Medical Radiation Science Honours Diagnostic Radiography. Gabriel Elphick, graduating with a Bachelor of Medical Radiation Science Honours Diagnostic Radiography. Sally Scruton, graduating with a Bachelor of Medical Radiation Science Honours Diagnostic Radiography. Brendan Strawn, graduating with a Bachelor of Medical Radiation Science Honours Diagnostic Radiography. Samuel Vella, graduating with a Bachelor of Medical Radiation Science Honours Diagnostic Radiography. Lachlan Wood, graduating with a Bachelor of Medical Radiation Science Honours Diagnostic Radiography. Christopher Dewar, graduating with a Bachelor of Medical Radiation Science Honours Nuclear Medicine. Ellis Appleyard, graduating with a Bachelor of Medical Radiation Science Honours Radiation Therapy. Laura Baker, graduating with a Bachelor of Medical Radiation Science Honours Radiation Therapy. Jessel Budia, graduating with a Bachelor of Medical Radiation Science Honours Radiation Therapy. Bianca Jackson, graduating with a Bachelor of Medical Radiation Science, Honours Radiation Therapy. Tegan McBeath, graduating with a Bachelor of Medical Radiation Science, Honours Radiation Therapy. Nicola Thorpe, graduating with a Bachelor of Medical Radiation Science, Honours Radiation Therapy. Brianna Tooley, graduating with a Bachelor of Medical Radiation Science, Honours Radiation Therapy. Angela Oh, graduating with a Bachelor of Medicine with distinction. Mona Kashkaisal, graduating with a Bachelor of Medicine. Aaron Savendran, graduating with a Bachelor of Medicine. Daniel Urquhart, graduating with a Bachelor of Medicine. Chancellor, I now call upon Professor Ali Hutton from the School of Nursing and Midwifery to continue presenting graduates of undergraduate degrees.
Chancellor, I present Emma Fricker, graduating with a Bachelor of Midwifery with distinction. Mackenzie O'Toole, graduating with a Bachelor of Midwifery. Grace Quilty, graduating with a Bachelor of Midwifery. Carol Casido, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing with distinction. Jane Coulter, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing with distinction. Brenton DeCesar, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing with distinction. Jessica Evans, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing with distinction. Jaylene Johnson, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing with distinction. Amanda Konjarski, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing with distinction. Jacqueline Lindstrom, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing with distinction. Bianca McNeil, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing with distinction. Stephen Nicholas, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing with distinction. Tino Ra'ama Nayukanhite, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing with distinction. Alison Quirk, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing with distinction. Jasmine Sharp, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing with distinction. Hannah Waters, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing with distinction. Hayden Williams, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing with distinction. Belunt Achikul, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Ula Wufanmilayu Adjen Loye, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Jade Atkinson, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Emily Benson,
graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Christy Lee Carberry, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Maggie Carmichael, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Madison Carroll, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Alana Chappell, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Purnima Diwakaran, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Emma Kate Duran, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Samantha Dudfield, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Jordan Foster, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Gina Gee, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Sarah Hanley, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Juwira Hassan, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates at this time.
Thank you, Professor Hutton. We'll now enjoy a short musical interlude by Ms. Naomi Blanche and Mr. Hamish Nugent, performing On the Sunny Side of the Street by Jimmy McHugh and Dorothy Fields. Both Ms. Blanche and Mr. Nugent are graduates of the University of Newcastle music program. Thank you. Thank you, Naomi and Hamish. Thank you very much indeed. Beautifully done. And I've got to say that's great pandemic music. Great pandemic music. Can I now call on Professor Hutton to continue presenting graduates?
Chancellor, I present Rebecca Hyde, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Harmony Irwin, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Darcy Jackson, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Christopher Jones, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Gabrielle Jones, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Kamaljit Kaur, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Jade Keefe, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Ali Kalokalo, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Grace Lambert, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Seamus Larson, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Alana Lees Mullenhon, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Tenzine Ladeau, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Olivia McLaughlin, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Chantel Methven, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Robert Broadhurst, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Ya Chan Lei, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Caitlin Palaniskas, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Melanie Panacook, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Livia Parker, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Lauren Payne, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Hannah Pippin, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Natalie Priestley Forster, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Chantel Punton, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Amara Roach Centino, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Ashley Ruse, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Jade Schutz, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Isabel Tate, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Roisin Turuk, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Shelley Trotman, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. John Ukeiru, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Danielle Viljevac, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. India Wilson, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Katie Wilton, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Tamara Woodman, graduating with a Bachelor of Nursing. Chancellor, I now call upon Professor Carol James, the Head of School for Health Sciences, to continue with a presentation of the graduates.
Chancellor, I present Christina Beatty, graduating with a Bachelor of Nutrition and Dietetics Honours with Honours Class 1. Rianne Sarich, graduating with a Bachelor of Nutrition and Dietetics Honours. Madeline Southall, graduating with a Bachelor of Nutrition and Dietetics Honours. Olivia Lichtenbergen, graduating with a Bachelor of Occupational Therapy Honours with Honours Class 1. Alexandra Price, graduating with a Bachelor of Occupational Therapy Honours with Honours Class 1. Abby Bray, graduating with a Bachelor of Occupational Therapy Honours. Ethan Brogan, graduating with a Bachelor of Occupational Therapy Honours. Catherine Burley, graduating with a Bachelor of Occupational Therapy Honours. Ashley Cavill, graduating with a Bachelor of Occupational Therapy Honours. Anna Doyle, graduating with a Bachelor of Occupational Therapy Honours. Madison Holbrow, graduating with a Bachelor of Occupational Therapy Honours. Madison Ingram, graduating with a Bachelor of Occupational Therapy Honours. Sarah Nicholas, graduating with a Bachelor of Occupational Therapy Honours. Maylene Purdy, graduating with a Bachelor of Occupational Therapy Honours. Sophie Lemke, graduating with a Bachelor of Occupational Therapy Honours. Sky Rattenbury, graduating with a Bachelor of Occupational Therapy Honours. Xanthi Robinson, graduating with a Bachelor of Occupational Therapy Honours. Lachlan Werrick, graduating with a Bachelor of Occupational Therapy Honours. Hannah Dunn, graduating with a Bachelor of Pharmacy Honours. Declan Spencer, graduating with a Bachelor of Physiotherapy Honours with Honours Class 1. Gemma Cartland, graduating with a Bachelor of Physiotherapy Honours. Ramal Rajak Pasay, graduating with a Bachelor of Physiotherapy Honours. Brianna Short, graduating with a Bachelor of Physiotherapy Honours. Amner Sibir, graduating with a Master of Mental Health Nursing. And Marissa Niven, graduating with a Master of Business Psychology with distinction. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates.
Thank you, Professor James. And we must bear a thought for those graduates and their loved ones who couldn't make it today because of COVID. You'll notice a number of vacant seats, and that's a great pity. But I'm sure our congratulations go out to all of those as well, all of them as well. I'd now invite Ms. Evangeline Jackson, who's graduating today with a Bachelor of Biomedical Science with Honours Class 1, to speak on behalf of the graduates. Thank you, Evangeline.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the Council, staff of the University, families and friends of graduates, and most importantly, graduates. What an incredible honour to speak on behalf of the graduates today. To the graduates, today marks a moment in time so many of us have dreamed about for years. For some of you, this has been the next step following high school, feeling like you're on the precipice of the rest of your life. For some, the journey to completing your degree has taken more twists and turns along the way, with so many other experiences included. We spend so much time in our degrees and in life deciding on when is the right time to celebrate our achievements. Do we celebrate when we submit our assignment or when we get the results back? Or do we wait until we finish the whole course? I say why not celebrate each of these experiences as they occur and reward yourself for both the effort and the result. It has the same feeling with finishing our degrees, where some of you may not have really experienced that sense of achievement until today. Congratulations. Whichever degree, we have all taken copious amounts of time and effort to get to this moment. I started my degree with a keen interest in aspects of health and medicine, something which I'm sure many of us share. The things I've learned through my university experience have completely changed my perceptions of how my own body works and how we as people function. For many of you, interactions with patients have already had enormous impacts on your lives in ways you would have never imagined. These are things for which I am so grateful. To the friends and families of graduates, for some, this achievement feels as much your accomplishment as the graduates themselves. This support network, whether present today or not, is something so many of us have needed at one point or another to remind us to love ourselves, take time for ourselves, and encourage us to work through our struggles. For these people in our lives, I thank you. On behalf of the graduates, I thank all of the people from the university who have worked with us and taught us through this experience, from the lecturers, tutors, lab demonstrators, conveners to student support staff. These people became our teachers, mentors, and another support network to push us to work to our potential and reach the end of the journey to not only complete our degree, but to a level of which we are proud. For me personally, completing this honours degree was a huge test of my mental and emotional strength, as well as the support network around me. My honours entailed researching new potential therapies for diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma, a devastating brain cancer with no current treatment available. 1 month before the completion of my degree, I completely tore my ACL in my knee playing soccer. The final assignments of a 100-page thesis, thesis defence, and final presentation seem out of my reach, as my mental state deteriorated alongside my damaged body. However, through the support of my family and friends, partner, program convener, and supervisor, I was able to push through to succeed. I've never learnt more about myself. Pushing past these challenges in our lives are always our greatest achievement. I'm sure many of you have had these victories of your own. As you go out into the world, many of you, I'm sure, being highly driven individuals, will be looking for the next achievement, the next result, the next step after completing your degrees. But I want you to keep in mind a story from the Disney movie Soul, referring to The Little Fish by Anthony DeMello. "Excuse me," said an ocean fish. "You are older than I, so can you tell me where to find this thing they call the ocean?" "The ocean," said the older fish, "is the thing you are in now." "Oh, this? But this is water. What I'm seeking is the ocean," said the disappointed fish as he swam away to search elsewhere. "Stop searching, little fish. There isn't anything to look for. All you have to do is look. Go out. Be proud of your effort and your achievements. Don't spend your time waiting or looking for the next thing. You are in the ocean now. Enjoy your swim."
Thank you, Evangeline, for speaking so well on behalf of your colleagues here today. It has been a trying journey, particularly at this time with the constraints of COVID and the restrictions on our ability with face-to-face learning. But you've all made it, and if you're debating about when to celebrate, please celebrate now. There's a big wide world, or a big wide ocean, out there to enjoy, full of challenges but also full of opportunities. So as His Excellency reminded us, you of all people have got a great opportunity to serve, and our society has a great need of your services. So thank you for speaking so very well indeed on behalf of your colleagues. I hope everyone's enjoyed today's ceremony, and I thank you for joining the university community in the celebration of the awarding of degrees. Before I declare the ceremony concluded, this time I'd like to ask that the graduates remain seated and for everyone else to stand up and join me once again in applauding these graduates. Thank you all very much. I now declare the ceremony concluded, and finally, once again, congratulations to the graduates. Please go out and make a difference. Thank you.